Two townhomes in Vaughan sold on the same street 6 weeks apart, but with a price difference of $250,000. Now, this is a clear case where the overall market data does not apply equally to every single property, even on the same street. Hi, my name is Raj. I'm a broker with RE/MAX Experts up here in Vaughan. Every month, I take the trap data and create a monthly real estate market report for the city of Vaughan. No spin, no sales pitch, just the numbers and what they mean to you. And do keep on watching this video, as I will come back and talk about those two townhomes in detail. This is the May 2026 update based on the April 2026 data. The numbers came out a few days ago. Three things to keep in mind as we go through this. Sales are up year over year. The median price is just over 1.1 mil, and the inventory is sitting at 5.3 months. I'll explain what each one of these means as we go through, so let's start with a snapshot. 257 homes sold in April, which is about 5% higher than last April. The median price sits at 1.16. This is where most of the transactions are happening. The average price is a bit higher, and that's pulled up by a handful of sales at the upper price point. I'll show you both, but the median is the number to trust. Now look at this. The average home in Vaughan sold in 29 days at 98% of the asking price. This tells you something very important. This is a market where the buyers have time, as long as they don't take too much time. And well-priced homes are still moving. That's the balance we are in right now. Now let's take a look where the market has moved over the last year. Sales are up. Seems like more buyers are coming back to the market, but prices are softer. The median is down about 6%. The average is down about 12%. The HPI benchmark, that's an index that tracks pricing for different types of homes sold each month, is down about 9.6% year over year. That's three different ways to look at price, all pointing in the same direction. Vaughan is cheaper than it was a year ago. Now look at the supply. Active listings are down 10%. That means fewer people are choosing to sell. A year ago, the inventory was at 4.4 months. Today, it's at 5.3 months. Buyers do have more breathing room, but supply is shrinking faster than the demand is recovering. That's something to watch over the next few months. And here's some context I think is really important. Vaughan's median price is just over 1.1 million, and across the rest of the GTA, it's only $880,000. That's a $236,000 premium for living in Vaughan, and it has held up year over year. That's not a fluke. It reflects the community, it reflects the schools, it reflects the transit, and the simple fact that more families do want to live in the city. Now, prices in Vaughan have corrected more than the GTA year-on-year average. Vaughan prices are down by 12%, and the wider GTA is only down by 5%. For buyers, that's way more buying power than you had a year ago. For sellers, pricing right from the start matters more than ever. On the inventory side, Vaughan is at 5.3 months, whereas the GTA is at 4.9 months. So Vaughan buyers actually have a touch more leverage than the broader region. I'll show you exactly where the inventory sits in the next few slides. Detached homes are still the biggest segment in Vaughan, 122 sales in April. Look at the two prices in this slide. The average price is just over 1.55 mil, and the median is just over 1.37 mil. That's almost a $200,000 gap. That's just the luxury sales in Kleinburg and Woodbridge pulling up the average. Most detached homes are selling closer to the median price. 90% sale to list, that's how much sellers are getting versus what they list at. On a $1.4 million home, that's about $40,000 of negotiating room. That's real money. 569 active listings. Detached home buyers have plenty of options. At 4.7 months of inventory, this segment is fairly balanced, leaning slightly towards the buyer. Well-priced homes are still moving in 25 days. Overpriced ones are just sitting. Pricing accuracy is everything here right now. Semi-detached homes were the tightest segment in Vaughan in April, with only 18 sales. But watch the supply. There are 45 active listings, with 33 brand new this month. That works out to about 2.5% of inventory. That's a fairly tight seller's market. Average and median are almost identical at around 1 million. Pricing is consistent and predictable. Sellers are getting about 99% of their asking price in just 24 days. Semi-detached homes do offer strong value to get more space without paying the detached pricing. Just be ready to snap one as they come up. They do go fast. Freehold townhomes are the star performers month over month, and the data backs it up. 100% sale to list. Sellers are getting their full asking price on average, so the demand is real. And with a median price of over just $1 million, freehold townhomes are the most accessible way of getting a freehold lifestyle in Vaughan. No condo fees, bit of land, a proper home. Now, there is something that I do want to touch on. The HPI benchmark for this segment is down 15% year over year. That's the biggest annual drop of any freehold type of home. So the prices have come down quite a bit, but the immediate demand remains pretty strong. And at 3.3 months of supply, this is still a seller's market. If you're selling a freehold townhome, you're in a good spot. If you're buying, don't wait too long. When the right one comes up, be ready to move. Condo townhomes are a niche segment with only 8 sales in April. But here's what stands out. 101% sale to list, above asking. So when one of these does come up, it sells at asking or slightly above asking. With a median price of just under $800,000, this is one of the most attainable ways of getting into the Vaughan market. If you're a first-time buyer or if you're downsizing and want to stay in the city, keep an eye on this segment. It shows about 8 months of inventory, but don't be misled. The sales volume is just too low to mean anything. When something good comes up, it does move fast, often above asking. Condo apartments tell a very different story. 62 sales against 445 active listings. That's 7.2 months of inventory. That's the clearest buyer market in Vaughan and probably throughout the GTA. The HPI is down over 11% year over year. Therefore, the buyers are paying way less than they were a year ago. Days on market is 43. That's almost double of the freehold homes. So the buyers have time, buyers have options, and with 96% sale to list, buyers have real negotiating power here. With a median price of just $537, this is the most affordable entry point into Vaughan, especially for the first-time home buyers. You can take your time, do your due diligence, and negotiate real hard. This chart puts everything side by side, so it's a great way to visualize all your options. The price range goes from $537,000 for a condo all the way to $1.5 million for a detached home. There's a price point for every budget in the city. Now, there are 2 things I want you to notice. First, gap on the detached bar between average and median. That's about $200,000. And once again, that's just some of the homes selling at the higher price point, pulling up the average price. Second, look at the prices for the semi-detached and freehold townhomes at around $1 million. That's a key affordability threshold for buyers looking to buy in the city. If you're trying to get into Vaughan under $800,000, condo apartments and condo townhomes are your best bet. This is the slide I spend the most time on with clients because months of inventory tells you who actually has the upper hand during any negotiations. Now let's have a look at this chart. Semi-detached homes at 2.5 months, that's a tight seller's market. Freehold townhomes at 3.3 months, also a seller's market. Detached homes at 4.7, fairly balanced but leaning in the favor of the buyers. Condo apartments at 7.2, now that's a clear buyer's market. Now Vaughan overall is sitting at 5.3 months of inventory, which is a buyer-friendly market. Same city, same month, 5 property types, 5 completely different markets. And that's why your strategy has to match the segment that you're trying to sell in or buy in. Now let's look at some other factors that are driving the market. Bank of Canada rate is at 2.25% and held steady for a 4th time in a row. That also means there are no surprises or shocks for anybody looking for a mortgage product in the market right now. Inflation is at 2.4%, just above the bank's target of 2%, so there is no immediate pressure for a rate hike. Now here's a signal that's worth watching. Across the GTA, new listings are down 9.3% year over year. That means the supply is quietly tightening, which could change the market conditions in the summer or the second half of this year. GTA sales are up 7% year over year, so the demand is showing some signs of life. Lower prices, stable rates, demand is returning, supply contracting. For buyers, that's a combination that doesn't always line up. And for sellers, it means that today's conditions could change come summer or the second half of 2026. Here's my take for buyers looking to buy in Vaughan right now. There are 3 things working in your favor. First, more choice. There are over 1,200 active listings in the city of Vaughan, so you can take your time to find that perfect home. Secondly, more time. On average, it's taking about 29 days to sell a home in the city. That leaves you plenty of time to find the home and conduct your inspections, financing, and due diligence. There is no need to panic buy. Take your time. And thirdly, you have some real negotiating power right now, but it does vary by housing segment. For example, you have a lot more leverage in condos versus semi-detached or townhomes. Overall, Vaughan is a buyer's market, but do match your strategy to the housing segment or the housing type you're trying to buy. And for home sellers, let's be straight. This is not the market from 3-4 years ago, but there are a lot of sellers still stuck in that mindset. Today's buyers know the market, they know the numbers, they will not overpay for a home. Overpriced homes are skipped altogether. Buyers just move on to properties that are priced better according to the current market. Now here's the flip side. Homes that are well prepared and priced according to the current market still get about 98% of the list price. So what works right now? Well, for starters, priced right from day one. The first 14 to 28 days are crucial, and if your property hasn't received an offer during that time, be ready to pivot as quickly as possible. Invest in professional staging and photography. Work with somebody who reads the data, not just the headlines. I tell every seller the same thing. You can still get a great result. You just need the right strategy. Look, the market data does provide a meaningful overview of the entire market, but data alone does not tell us the whole story. Now let's go back to the example that I gave of the 2 townhomes in Vaughan. 2 townhomes sold in Velour Village in March and April. The first sold at $1,135,000, the second at $885,000. That's a price difference of $250,000 for townhomes on the same street, just 6 weeks apart. Most people will not look past that number and just assume that their home is worth just as much as the last sale on the street, usually the higher number. But if we have a deeper look, the home that sold at the higher price was 400 square feet larger, had a 4th bedroom. I think they had spent more than $100,000 on renovations, and it was an end unit, which means it's pretty much similar to buying a semi-detached. Now, the owners of the home that sold at the lower price clearly understood the differences and the market. So they developed a pricing and marketing strategy that worked best for their home, and they sold it quickly at a great price. They understood the market and they got it done. Every situation is unique. Upsizing, downsizing, first-time homebuyers, investors, the strategy is different every single time. Now, if you would like to walk through what these April numbers mean for your home or your situation, I would love to connect. You can call or text me at 416-830-8305. There's also a link in the video description to book a free 30-minute strategy call with me. We can have a real conversation about these numbers, your needs, your requirements, where you stand, and all your options. If this video was helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. I share market updates, market news, home tours throughout Vaughan and the GTA right here. I'm Raj. I'll catch you next time.